The Sigmund Freud Files, Episode 8, Disease and Symptom. Audio movie by Heiko Martins, translated by Armin Prediger.
I am the ego, the crowning glory of a society that has become a culture, a spirit that became a science, a life at the zenith and beyond. And still I claim to be the master of myself.
I am the super-ego, and I can see. Healed, treated, silenced, forgotten. For himself? For whom? A landmark in history.
I am the id, and I say, constant dripping clouds the gaze. It's not forgotten. He writes everything down. For posterity. May they praise him, and gossip and squabble about what he's written. Like what? Blisters on your fingers. Oh, a bent back. Oh, a knot in the brain. Cancer.
Nobody's been here for a long time. Somehow people realised there was no point, not without any light. If it's always dark, then dark isn't really a punishment anymore, is it?
Sure.
The cells were used until 1903, a total of 10 years. When the water came in here, the entire section was cleared. As far as I'm concerned, they could have let them all rot down here, locking them up on bread and water and then crying when the water drips from the ceiling. What do you think?
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Of course not. We need the space in any case. That's why all this has to be renovated. How you can get all this dry, well, that's your problem. Well, the cells also have to be renovated. The latest scientific insights. They should count themselves lucky we don't just hang these bastards from the nearest lamppost.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe we could take a look at one of the cells.
Yeah, follow me, come on. There. Oh, look at that. Everything's rotten. You can have a look at what has to be renovated.
There's no light in the cells.
Are you listening? All this needs to be redone. The walls have to be whitewashed. Once they're dry, of course. The directors think that white walls calm the inmates down. Did you know that? A wall as white as an angel, and you'll become one yourself.
We'll have to find out whether the water is coming in from above or below. And these walls... The damp has penetrated the entire wall. We'll have to completely redo all of this.
It doesn't bother me. I don't have to pay for it.
What's this here?
Oh, I don't know.
Here. 2 bricks. Missing in the wall. Is that normal? This one's loose too. Maybe
you should stop with the renovations until you've actually received the contract. I'm just supposed to show you around.
Look at this.
What is it?
A hidden space in the wall.
Don't you think I can see that? What have you got there?
Somebody's memoirs.
A memoir?
A diary.
Well, look at that. Looks like there was an artist locked up in here. What a tragedy. An Austrian tragedy.
There are no dates. Written with... coal, maybe. It was a sunny day. A perfect day to feel good. To go outside and enjoy the breeze that carries fresh air through the alleyways. But why do I feel so dreadful? It's as if an invisible veil is draped over my shoulders. That makes my limbs heavy. As if it wanted to paralyze me. I think it would help if I went down into the cellar. But I break out in sweat just thinking about it. I'll do it tomorrow. I was in the cellar today. It was as cleansing, as always. The veil that weighs on me is not gone, but it does feel lighter. I can hardly feel it now, and I don't think I'll feel its weight for some time. Is it quicker every time? The weight on me, that I can feel pulling on me, does it come back quicker every time? I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm reading Horler again. It speaks to me. It really speaks to me. My French is not good enough to understand every passage, but it's as if I can feel what the author is getting at more than understanding every word. How I would love to sit down with him sometime and talk about what needs to be done. I could help him. Perhaps that's foolhardy. That's what I believe. We had guests today. A miserable obligation. And then they wanted to have a look at the cellar as well. I pretended that it was inconvenient and was able to talk them out of it. Still, I feel the weight again. When I lie in bed at night, I start to sweat. I can't tell them about the dead bodies in the basement, about the people that I killed, so I don't have to feel that heavy veil, that burden on my shoulders, all because I'm sick. How am I supposed to bear the punishment, or worse, in my state? First, I have to get healthy, and then I will tell everyone, but not now. My dead bodies, my secret.
Martina, my dear, how many times have I told you when the door is shut, Dad is working? What is it, my dear?
Nothing. What are you reading?
It's for work. What's the matter, honey?
Mummy says you're supposed to come have dinner.
She said that?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'm on my way.
I'll tell her.
Did you get my message?
What? Oh, yes.
I don't want any bread with my soup.
Martina.
How was your day?
They want to renovate the prison after all.
They have you involved in that?
No. They found a diary in one of the old cells.
What's the diary, Father?
Don't talk with your mouth full, dear.
It's an empty book that you write your thoughts into. And what happened to you that day.
Can I write already, Mummy?
4 letters, dear.
4? That's one more than yesterday.
Now I know R.
Well, that's great, my dear.
So why is this book so important?
Oh, I don't know. But I think I'll pay the professor a visit tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I've asked an acquaintance to help me read Horler. His translation was as follows. Where do we get these wondrous impressions that change happiness to misery, trust to fear? It's as if the invisible air was full of a kind of force that we don't know, that sometimes touches us on a tangent. I wake up full of cheer, like I want to sing. Why? I go to the water's edge, and suddenly I return home after a short walk, downcast, as if some kind of misfortune awaited me at home. Why?
Isn't it wonderful? It drives me to tears. How can somebody be so familiar with my soul?
What do you think?
It's Guy de Maupassant.
The next page, for example.
I was in the cellar again. I brought the last one down here last night. She really fought me hard. She smelled of alcohol.
She smelled of alcohol. And it seemed as if the booze she had had gave her added strength. But her will faded.
the dagger in her side. As the blood left her body, so did her resistance. And then I carried her into the cellar. And I went on my way. Now I feel lighter again. I feel freer. Maybe I'll go for a walk today.
It's like that on several pages. If I counted correctly, whoever wrote these pages killed 7 women and brought them into his basement. What exactly he did with the bodies, I'm not really sure, even if it seems difficult not to try to imagine it. It seems to provide him with relief. Dear God, what a sick mind.
And you're sure these pages are not the product of a, if not sick, but perhaps also a creative mind? Maybe it was just an attempt to create a literary work.
Why would someone want to invent something that terrible? How could a reader possibly find pleasure in it?
The history of literature is full of horrors. Some of the greatest works would be nothing without the evil that lies within them.
Terrible.
I see. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that what is described here actually happened. There must be a way to trace this. 7 people don't just disappear without anyone noticing, especially women.
At least not recently.
The writing and the style of the writing, never mind the condition of the diary itself, makes me think it's several years old. Probably even decades.
I think so too. We're still working on finding parallels to actual incidents that we know about, but the murderer, well, he didn't exactly go for prominent citizens, if you know what I mean.
He killed poor people, homeless people, people on the margins of society.
Yes.
Here's the coffee, Father.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you, Anna.
Are there any records of who was incarcerated in this cell?
Yes, there are. The cell was designed for 2 prisoners, but usually there were 4 or even 5 people in there. But not one of them was a convicted murderer.
For whatever reason this man was in prison, it was not because of the crimes he describes in this diary.
No. There's also the fact that the cell hasn't been used for years. It's going to be a Herculean task to find out which people could have committed these heinous crimes.
A new case?
Looks like it.
This may not be for you, Anna.
I don't think so.
Professor?
You should research possible candidates, track them down, and when you found them, question them. Anna will go with you.
Will I?